Good morning. This is a wake-up call with Josh and Val.
In today's episode, we talk to Maurice Allen.
He's a world long drive champion, a Guinness World Record holder, and he tells us the importance of hitting the like button. Here is Maurice Allen. Golf is kind of like, the lonely sport. You're always by yourself, but no success is possible without the team. So how did you build your team of people that you trust, whether it's family, friends? How did you do that?
Oh man. Building up a team is so tough because trust is probably the hardest thing in the world. And there are a lot of bad people in this world, or people with bad intentions. So finding people the easiest way for me was simple, man. If people celebrate when you have success as hard or as much as they would celebrate if it was them, then those are people who need to be around your team. Those are people who really need to be around you. But in the same sentence, people who tell you that you're wrong, or people who tell you that you weren't as great as you thought you were that particular day because you didn't live up to your potential or what you truly displayed, are also people you need to have on your team. Kind of with the growing pains thing. In today's world, everybody's on this whole vibes and vibration thing. But the truth of the matter is, if you have a bunch of yes people around you, or if people aren't always quote unquote on your vibe and we ain't vibing today, so I can't talk to you, you're probably missing out on a lot of things that are going to make you an amazing and great person in whatever craft that you choose to pursue, because that's also a growing pain as well. Sometimes you need to hear that you suck. When I was a kid, my mom used to tell me, she was like, if you don't want to hear my mouth, then, stop, messing up, and I used to hear it all the time as a kid growing up, sigue oliendo, sigue oliendo. I'm like, what? And see, you got that. See, so, and it's funny, but the truth of the matter is, if you don't mess up, then people won't say anything to you. If you're doing things the right way the first time, or if you're doing them the proper way, then you really that's how you can tell who's on your team and who's not. People who are getting on you are getting on you because they see better, they expect better, or they understand that you have a greater potential than what you're displaying, even if your skill level isn't there at that moment. So don't be complacent with being in the middle of the road if greatness is what you truly can achieve. So the team thing, man, is tough. I fired a lot of people. I cussed a lot of people out. Do I regret any of it? Hell no, I don't, because they were terrible people.
The vultures.
Yeah, but you have to get past the like factor. Developing a team is having people who will listen to whatever your vision is first for what you want it to be. You and I did a video together, a commercial, and you listened to my vision, and then from there, you put it together. I didn't tell you how to put the commercial together because that's not what I do. I don't know how to do that. I'm smart enough to know that I don't know how to do that. But I gave you a picture and then allowed you to run with it. And that's a big part of a team. With a team, you don't need to micromanage. You don't need to look over people's shoulder. And that's where the trust factor comes in. But it takes time. And sometimes you test people to see what they're going to do. But then once you find good people, you make sure that you treat them right in return. If you grow, if you get bigger, if you start quote unquote making more money, you have to make sure you take care of that team as you grow as well. If you go from a guy making 100,000 to a guy making 10 million, you can't keep paying that team, $5,000 to $2,000 or whatever your rate was. You need to make sure they grow exponentially like you grow exponentially, because that is a part of the responsibility of success, is making sure that you take care of those people who helped you grow. And that's how you also keep them excited about your growth, because they see their growth and you're allowing them to grow as well. You're not just holding them down as somebody who's making minimum wage and all this other stuff. And that's a hard concept for people to understand.
So before that, when you first got into golfing, did you have a lot of support?
No,
family and friends.
Oh yeah, family. Yeah. Family's always been supportive. Probably one of the worst supportive people were my agents in the beginning. They were terrible. We'd have a falling out, and oh man, you a fake wannabe Tiger Woods. Another, you ain't never gonna be nothing. I'm like, that's why you fired. So that doesn't really bother me at all. But yeah, my pastor used to always say, you can't tell everybody your dreams because someday somebody's going to try to wake you up. So I've always looked at it from that stance. It doesn't matter if I have the support or if I don't have the support. If I have the drive to do whatever it is and to accomplish that goal, the rest of that stuff's irrelevant. It's nice to have. Trust me, it's really, really nice to have when the times get rough. But it's more important that you have it yourself. I mean, you've seen it with a lot of kids. People tell them, "Oh, you're so amazing, you're so great," and the kid doesn't see it. Well, then it's never going to come to fruition, no matter what, because that
Mm-hmm.
person doesn't see it. They don't see the value in it. So I think that that's a true thing. It's a combination, but the support. If you're a really strong-minded, bullheaded person, the support is irrelevant.
That's good advice, because a lot of people kind of like base how hard they work based off of support and getting the feedback, but you kind of have to do it on your own at first.
Yeah, I mean, but when you think about it, when you're trying to establish something, when it's yours, it's like a kid, it's your baby. So if it sinks or swims, it's all on you. It was probably something I realized really, really early in my career was I used to get mad because it was like, man, these agents aren't out here working for me. They're not trying to get me sponsors and all this other stuff. And then I realized one day I was like, well, if I eat, if I live, if I die, it doesn't affect their life. They're going to be fine. They're still taking trips. They're still taking vacations. So I changed it. I got out there and I started making my own phone calls. And they were like, oh, where'd this deal come from? I got tired of waiting on you. You know,
Yeah.
I've had it before where companies were interested in me and I handed the card or I gave the information to the agent and 2 months went by and they never reached out. They never made a call. And these people were potentially, from the conversations we were having, were ready to sign deals, in the first 7 days. And then obviously, like anything else, after that time period goes, people become less interested because they think you're not interested. So, finding people who move and work in your method and principle. For me, I'm always big on, if somebody writes me or if somebody contacts me, we make sure that we contact people back. Nobody gets the whole, I guess the term now is ghosted. But
Yeah.
we called it radio silence. I'm old, but you know, I make sure that that doesn't happen. And there are a lot of people in this world who are cowards. A lot of people are afraid just to say no, and tell people the truth. Be like, hey, I'm not interested, but thanks for the reach out. Cool. Have a great day, but no, not interested. And I think if people were more upfront like that, you'd have less hurt people walking around. But
Hmm.
because for some reason, no has turned into such a bad word, people think that it's better to ignore people. It really infuriates people. So I just make sure that communication is key. I leave myself open and available to the people. Even if people come in, it happens on my IG all the time. People come in there with foolishness. I'll be like, hey, man, sorry that that's your opinion, but, my Instagram has a follow and an unfollow button. If you don't like my content, just hit the unfollow. It's really simple. Then you won't have to worry about it. You just go like that.